Hi everyone, it's Megan from Brunswick Martial Arts and Fitness, and I'm going to show you some hip opening poses today. With a lot of sitting, especially if you have a desk job or you find yourself commuting a lot, you might find that your hips are getting really tight. So I'm just going to show you a couple poses you could do, a couple minutes in your home, that could alleviate some of that tightness in your hips. So the first pose you can use a wall for, so just bring your mat close to a wall. You're going to sit up, your knees bent at a 45-degree angle, and then you're going to cross your left leg over your right in a figure 4 position. This foot is flexed and engaged. That's very important. You don't want a foot hanging out like this. You want the muscles engaged in your leg. So from here, you're going to pick up your hips and then plant them down as close as you can next to the wall. So if you're not feeling a hip opening stretch here, you can get yourself out of this, move this front leg a little bit closer to the wall, pick your hips up again, plant them down so they're touching the wall. And here, when I'm here, I'm feeling a little bit more of a hip opening stretch. It shouldn't be painful. It should just feel like a nice passive stretch. So you'll sit here for a couple breaths, maybe like 10 breaths. So inhale here, exhale, nice big inhale, and exhale. So today we'll only hold here for about 5 breaths, so take a couple more inhales and exhales here. And then once you're ready, gently pick your hips up, come out of it and switch sides. So take your right leg this time, bend your knee, rotate from your hips so you're in this figure 4 position. This foot is flexed. And then pick your hips up, plant them down so they're touching the wall. And then you can take a couple breaths here. Again, if this is too intense for you, just take this front foot and move it slightly forward. And we'll hold here for 5 breaths on this side. So inhale, and then exhale. Inhale, and exhale, and just continue to take a couple breaths at your own pace. And then you can gently come out of it. So the next pose we'll do is a little bit of a deeper hip opener. It's pigeon prep pose. So you can start off and come into it from downward facing dog. That's how I usually like to teach it in the class, and like to get into pigeon myself. So you can start off in a downward facing dog. We'll start with the left leg. Lift your left leg up behind you, and then you'll rotate from your hip. Spin your shin down so it's in the direction of parallel to the short edge of your mat. It does not need to be parallel to the short edge of your mat. It could look something more like this where your leg is more bended. It just depends how open your hips are. So once you're here, you want to focus on your alignment first. So draw that left hip back and in. That will give you good alignment at the hips, engage your muscles a little bit. And then take a peek alongside the back of your body. You want a straight line all the way through your glute, your hamstring, out through your heel. Oftentimes people's heels will spin in one way or out the other, and you just want a straight line back. So once you have that alignment, you can go a little deeper by moving your back knee back if you need that. If you're feeling good where you get into it, don't feel the need to move your knee back. And then we'll hold here for a couple breaths. Upper body's nice and tall. If this is not a comfortable reach, just put some blocks underneath your hands. Again, keep that left hip drawing back and in. And that back heel in line as we're holding it here. So we'll hold for another 3 breaths. And then you'll put your hands down, press back the downward facing dog, and come into it on the other side. So inhale your right leg up this time, spin your hip and your right shin so it's parallel to the short edge of your mat. Again, can look something more like this, just depends how open your hips are. Once you're here, we'll focus on alignment. So draw that right hip back and in, take a peek behind the back of your body, make sure there's a straight line all the way out through your heel. And once you have that alignment, feel free to move that knee back and go a little bit deeper. Again, if the alignment feels good, and you feel like you're deep enough in the pose when you first get into it, don't feel the need to move your knee back. And we'll hold here for another 4 breaths or so. Press back in a downward facing dog. Take your right leg up behind you, and then plant that foot in between your hands. So we'll do another hip opener here. Your back knee is on the ground, so my right leg is forward at this point, left knee on the ground. Move both hands to the inside of your front foot, and then walk your hands about a step forward, and then a step out to the side. So you're moving your hands forward and then to the left, just so my elbows have space to bend. So from here, I'm going to bend my elbows, my shoulder blades are squeezing together. This back leg, I'm dragging this side toward my front leg. That'll engage the muscles of my legs, prevent me from overstretching, while still getting a good stretch of my hip flexors. So I drag my left thigh forward, bend my elbows, and I'm feeling a stretch in both hip flexors, primarily the one of my bent leg, but that's just where I'm tighter. So it might be different for you. So hold here for a couple breaths. If you need to go deeper, lift the back knee and hold here. So we'll hold here for 3 more breaths. And then switch sides. So put your hands back for a downward facing dog position, press back to downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up behind you. Plant that left foot in between your hands, right knee lowers down, and then walk your hands to the inside of your front foot, forward and then out to the side slightly. And then from here, draw that right thigh forward, just so your leg muscles are engaged. Bend your elbows, shoulder blades come close. And again, if you need to go deeper here, lift that back knee. That thigh presses up toward the ceiling. You're lowering down, shoulder blades squeezing together, and hold for a couple breaths. So we'll hold for 3 breaths here. Great. So thanks for joining me today. I hope these poses may alleviate some of that tightness in your hip flexors that you experience if you're commuting a lot, working at a desk, sitting a lot every day, and hope to see you soon.